right, so today we are taking a deep dive into some really fascinating technology.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about brain-computer interfaces.
Yeah.
And specifically, we're going to be looking at a company called Neuralink.
Okay.
You've probably heard of them. Headed up by Elon Musk.
I have, yeah.
Big in the news lately because they just got approval for their first clinical trial outside of the U.S.
Wow.
And it's happening right here in Canada
Oh, that's interesting. In Canada, specifically.
at the University Health Network Hospital in Toronto.
Okay.
So for anyone who doesn't know, Neuralink is working on these, like, brain implants.
Yeah.
It sounds like sci-fi,
It
but
really does.
it's getting closer and closer to reality.
It is.
And the goal, the ultimate goal, is to allow people to control devices like phones, computers,
Right.
even prosthetic limbs, just using their thoughts.
Wow.
So no more like, typing or clicking or anything like that.
That's amazing.
You just think it, and it happens.
Yeah.
So this Canadian trial, it's a pretty big deal.
It is. It's their first international trial, which means they're starting to gain some real traction with this technology, and they're focusing specifically on people with quadriplegia.
Oh, wow.
So people who have paralysis in all four limbs.
Right.
The idea is that this implant could give them back some independence, some control.
It could be life-changing, really.
Absolutely.
So can we dig a little deeper into how this device actually works? I mean, how do you translate thoughts into like actual commands?
Yeah, so it's not exactly mind reading, but it's pretty close.
Okay.
So basically, they implant this tiny device, it's like smaller than a dime, into the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And on this device are these tiny, tiny electrodes.
Okay.
And these electrodes, they can pick up the electrical signals that your neurons fire when you think.
Oh.
And then the device interprets those signals, translates them into commands that a computer or a phone or whatever can understand.
So it's basically like a translator for your brain.
Exactly. Yeah, like a brain-computer translator. Wow. So they're already doing trials, you said, in the U.S.?
Yeah. Yeah, they've got 2 patients in the U.S. who have already received implants.
And how are they doing?
Well, the second patient, get this, he's already using the implant to play video games.
Wow.
Yeah, and design 3D objects, all with his thoughts.
That is incredible. That's mind-blowing.
It really is. It shows you just how powerful this technology could be.
So what's next for Neuralink? Where do they go from here?
Well, controlling devices is just the beginning.
Okay.
They've got much bigger plans.
Yep.
They want to use this technology to help people with all sorts of neurological conditions.
Like what?
So, obviously, restoring movement for people with paralysis,
Mm-hmm.
but also they're looking at enabling communication for people who have speech difficulties.
Wow.
And even, and this is the really amazing part, restoring vision.
Restoring vision.
Yeah. They're actually working on an implant that could potentially give sight back to people who have lost it.
That's incredible. Are they close to making that happen?
Well, they've already received what's called a breakthrough device designation from the FDA
Oh, wow.
for this vision restoring implant.
So what does that mean?
It means the FDA recognizes the potential of the technology, and they're basically fast-tracking the development and review process.
So it could be available sooner than we think.
It's definitely possible.
Well, I have to say, this is some pretty incredible stuff. It's really exciting to see where this technology is headed.
It really is. And it's not just about the technology itself.
What do you mean?
It's about what it means for people.
Yeah,
For people who've been living with disabilities, this could be a game changer.
absolutely. It could give them back their independence, their freedom. It's really amazing to think about.
It is. So as this technology continues to develop, it's going to raise some really big questions.
Like what kinds of questions?
Ethical questions.
Oh, right.
Questions about access, who gets this technology, who can afford it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Questions about safety,
Hmm.
about privacy. These are all things we're going to have to grapple with as we move forward.
Yeah, you're right. It's not just about the science, it's about the societal implications as well.
Exactly. And I think, this deep dive, it's really just scratched the surface.
It has.
There's so much more to learn about Neuralink and about brain-computer interfaces in general,
Yeah.
but hopefully this has given people a little taste of what's possible, what the future might hold.
I think it has.
Hmm.
And it's made me think about something.
Oh, what's that?
This technology, it has the potential to be incredibly beneficial, right?
Right.
But what if it falls into the wrong hands?
That's a really good question. What if it's used for, things other than helping people?
Exactly. What if it's used for control, for manipulation?
That's definitely something to think about. It's a powerful technology.
Yeah.
And like any powerful technology, it can be used for good or for bad.
I think as this technology evolves, those ethical questions are going to become more and more important. We need to start thinking about them now.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Well, that's about all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Okay.
But as always, we encourage you to keep learning, keep exploring. The
Definitely.
future is full of possibilities, and it's up to us to shape it in a way that benefits everyone.
I like that.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.